You now have a quorum, Chairman Williamson.
Great, thank you. I see Councilman Lavelle and Director Hirsch are now present as, so that gives us a quorum. Like the records show that Mayor-elect Gainey, as Diamante said a moment ago, is stuck in Harrisburg, unable to join today's meeting, and Director Powell is absent as well. Our first order of business is simply to approve the board meeting minutes from the October 14th meeting. So there's only 3 of us, so we will be having 3-person votes for today's meeting, but they've been distributed. Unless there are any issues with them, the motion to approve would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries and those minutes are approved. I think we did have perhaps one public comment registrant for today. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. What was the person's name? Oh, Shaman Homage.
No, let me check the meeting room to see if they're present.
So they do a really good job of setting proposals, of getting engagement and outreach to the community so that you get the most.
It doesn't appear that they are present on the call currently.
So
Okay.
I think
And there was only one registrant, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if the person who Pomaj Shakman Yahalaji, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but if that person is on the call or happens to join, raise your hand or put something in the chat so we can make sure you have the public comment that you signed up for. In the meantime, we have several announcements. One is simply that the certain members of the URA board met yesterday to receive a briefing on the status of the URA's proposed American Rescue Plan allocation. So that's the distribution of federal stimulus fund dollars that will be coming to the URA and allocated by city council for specific purposes. So certain board members received an update yesterday on the status of that distribution and the allocation, but no deliberations occurred and no decisions were made, as is always the case during any kind of executive session meetings. But other than that, I think we've got some handful of other announcements, and I will, let's see, turn it over to, I think first to Evan Miller.
Yep. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Evan Miller. I'm with the URA Lending and Investments Unit, and I wanted to bring 2 RFPs to the attention of the board and the general public. Both are going to be released a week from today on November 23rd. The first is the rental gap program. That's on the left side of the slide that you're looking at right now. We'll be putting out approximately $4.5 million in this RFP for smaller scale, community-driven, affordable rental housing. We're expecting CDCs and developers with new construction projects or with existing projects that have some capital needs related to preservation to apply, as well as 4% low-income housing tax credit projects. This RFP is primarily funded through the Housing Opportunity Fund, and it's going to focus on affordability at or below 50% of the area median income. And the RFP is going to be available on the URA's website and also on the URA's procurement platform called Ion Wave Technologies. A pre-proposal meeting is going to be held on Zoom at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. We're going to go over the program and how to apply, and people can ask questions there. So info on how to access that meeting is going to be included with the RFP that's released next week. There is no deadline. These proposals are going to be accepted on a rolling basis, and they need to be submitted through the Ion Wave Technologies platform. Now, the RFP on the right side of the screen is the 9% low-income housing tax credit pre-application. This RFP is for all projects in the city of Pittsburgh that plan on applying for credits via Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, PHFA's 2022 9% LIHTC round. Although PHFA has not yet released their qualified allocation plan yet, we did want to get this moving on our end. The pre-application allows for URA to anticipate what our gap financing needs are going to be in the next 12 to 18 months. And it also allows the URA to both assess and plan for the site control that's needed for city and URA owned properties that are going to be involved in these projects. That RFP is going to be available on URA.org, and responses must be submitted by January 3rd, 2022 at 4 p.m. to my colleague, Bettina Haig, whose email is on the screen here, but it's bhaig@ura.org. So both of those RFPs going out a week from today.
Great. Thanks, Evan. Then we have the third quarter performance report. And I think Dylan Sloat is going to walk us through this.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Dylan Sloat with the Strategic Data and Impact group at the URA. We just wanted to announce that our Q3 performance report is live on the URA website. It will be at ura.org at the Impact tab. We just wanted to go through a couple of the highlights quickly as well, just as a brief synopsis, but the full reports will be available on the website now. First, we just wanted to point out we had 69 individuals assisted through workforce programs for this quarter. We had 185 individuals helped to stay in their homes through housing crisis prevention programs and through housing legal assistance. We had 19 assisted in achieving home ownership. We also managed to help create or preserve 130 units of affordable housing. Additionally, we also supported 164 businesses through wayfinding calls and emails, and additionally 18 loans between the URA and Invest PGH, one of the URA's affiliates. And as well, we helped neighborhoods by dispersing over $430,000 to businesses maintaining vacant lots and by supporting neighborhood projects. For anyone that would like to read further into any of these metrics or just to see the full report, please go to ura.org and click on the Impact tab. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Dylan. Next up, we have some Avenues of Hope announcements.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Adelaide Roddy. I am a project manager with the Development Services Unit. This is an announcement for the 4800 block of Hazelwood. The Greater Hazelwood Coalition Against Racial and Ethnic Disparities, otherwise known as GH-CARED, would like to assess the feasibility of constructing a 40,000 square foot commercial building along the south-facing parcels of 2nd Avenue. GH-CARED envisions the land and building being owned by the community and housing a variety of neighborhood-serving retail. The URA will issue a hold for market letter that will give GH-CARED temporary site control while they raise money to perform the study and retain a third-party consultant to complete the study. The study will examine the viability of several components of the proposal, including market demand and financial feasibility. If the results are promising, URA staff will return to board at a later date to recommend extending site control so further due diligence can be undertaken at that time. The proposal embodies the objectives of the Avenues of Hope initiatives. At this time, I'm happy to answer any questions about this announcement.
This is just an announcement. There's no action needed. At this moment.
No action needed, just an announcement.
Okay. Any questions? Yep. Okay, thank you.
Chairman Williamson, I did see in the Q&A that Pastor Love was in the audience, and they may have wanted to provide comment. I'm not certain. Just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that in the Q&A.
Oh, I think we can allow that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Praise the Lord, everyone. I didn't know if we were having comment period. I thought the board would be voting on needed a vote to give us exclusive right, but I see Adeline, she made a presentation, and I guess that we'd be moving on to determine the feasibility. So I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, but I guess there's no need to speak if everything is went as well as the win.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here and for your engagement on this. Yeah. There's no board action needed for just a hold the market letter. You'll get to that point later on in the process.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for your support.
Okay. I think next we lost my place on the agenda.
Tom Link will take this one.
Credits awarded. Yep, there we go.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah, just briefly, this past week, Governor Wolf announced as part of a larger, announced a neighborhood assistance program and enterprise zone tax credit awards across the Commonwealth. And included in that was a generous support of City of Pittsburgh projects seeking these tax credits, these enterprise zone tax credits, in which the state awarded about 3.4 million to local Southwestern PA and City of Pittsburgh economic development projects. We just wanted to highlight those here. There's a full press release on the URA's website, and certainly welcome folks to read that. And again, thank the governor, but highlighted, what's an important program to bring investment to a number of our neighborhood development projects that I know that we all care about it. And highlight here that developments at 21 Rose Street, Big Tom's, the former Hill House, Rhythm Square, 5th and Dinwiddie, James Street Tavern on the north side, all were awarded tax credits through this program. So we just want to highlight that here. It's a good program. It's a program that can bring pretty substantial support to neighborhood serving development projects and job creating projects across the city. And again, want to thank Governor Wolf, thank DCD and the state for their support of Pittsburgh developments, and thank and just highlight that here. So thank you.
It's great news. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So next we have a voting item, which I think is final action, I think, on an exciting project we've seen many times before, Big Tom's Barbershop in the Hill. And I think Leah Matthews is presenting on this. Yes.
Yep, I'm here. Today, Today, authorization is requested to accept final drawings, final evidence of financing, and authorization to execute a deed for the sale of Block 10P, lots 113, 113A, 113B, and 113C in the 5th Ward to Tom 24 Development, LLC for $21,000 plus cost. Mr. Ward has operated his barbershop in the Hill District for 15 years and will be purchasing 2178 Center Avenue and the adjacent lots. 2178 Center Avenue is the former home of Ham's Barbershop, an iconic building in the neighborhood. Mr. Boyd's Barbershop will relocate to the first floor of that rehabilitated structure, while the second and third floor will contain two-bedroom apartments affordable to those between 50 and 80% AMI. The adjacent lots will be used for outside deck space and can be utilized by the community or neighborhood-based businesses for pop-ups or events and things like that. The total estimated development cost for this project is about 1.8 million, and the project is being funded with various sources, including First National Bank, funding from Neighborhood Allies, the URA's Neighborhood Initiative Fund, PHFA's Fair Funding, and others. Today, I do have Thomas Boyd and Glenn Grayson Jr. here to answer any questions and maybe just to make some comments.
Great. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Is your mic unmuted? You want to add anything to what Leah presented?
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for having me. I just want to say I'm just grateful and thankful for all the support in the community, the people at the URA, especially the people at Neighborhood Allies and F&B Bank, and all of the support that we've been getting and the grants. And it's been a long haul and a struggle, but we're happy to get the support, and we're eager to move forward to get started. And thank you again for consideration.
Thank you. It's exciting for you to be at this point. I don't know if there are questions from board members or anything anybody wants to add, or if I don't see Glenn, but if he wants to add anything, can unmute his
No,
mic.
I have no further comment.
Oh, hey, there you are. Okay, well, if there are no other questions or comments, then I think a motion to approve would be in order.
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Sorry, I was on mute. Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, everybody. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
congratulations. Josette Fitzgibbons is going to present on the revisions to the Avenues of Hope's facade grant guidelines.
So this is actually just a presentation of them. They will be presented to you all for a vote at the December board meeting. This is a new grant program modeled on the previous storefront renovation program that we had a couple of years ago. These are grants up to $12,000 and a smaller match requirement in our Avenues of Hope communities. We're only asking for a 10% match from the business or property owner. Both business owners and property owners are eligible for it. One other new thing in these is that up to 25% of the grant funds can be used on interior renovations. We haven't allowed that in the past, and up to 50% can be used for ADA accessibility improvements. We anticipate starting the program January 1st, and applications will be available on a quarterly basis. Any questions? And again, this will be up in front of the board again in December for final vote.
Great. Any questions? Again, that's our traditional practice for program guidelines introduction. We'll present at one board meeting, give the board and public a chance to review and provide comment, and then have final action at the next board meeting. Any thoughts or questions in the meantime? No, seeing none. Thanks, Josette. I think we can move on to the next agenda item. Somehow we've been talking about the two-way conversion of Penn Circle and East Liberty for what feels like 7 decades. As soon as they finished the construction of it during the urban renewal period, people started talking about converting it back to two-way traffic. It seems like this is definitely feels like the 10th board meeting where we've talked about this item. The presenter here is
Matt Lubinsky will cover this one.
Yes, thank you, Diamante and Chairman Williamson. I am Mac Luginski. I'm with the QC&I department. I'm a senior project engineer. Authorization is requested to enter into an agreement for construction management and construction inspection services with Michael Baker International for an amount not to exceed $520,000. RFPs for this project were received on October 13th of this year. We received 8 proposals, of which 4 were selected as shortlisted firms and interviewed and references checked. The funding sources for this project, or for the CMCI portion, are El Tridra Phase 1 and the PA Department of Community and Economic Development TRID grant. Michael Baker is MWB compliant. They have provided 23% MBE and 8% WBE. And you are right, this is a 5+ year initiative to get this project underway, and we received some wonderful grant money to help us forward. The bids for construction will be actually advertised next month on Ion Wave Technologies, and construction should commence in April of 2022. Are there any questions?
How long is construction anticipated to last once it finally begins next year? Do we have any-
Roughly 445 days, which I believe is a year and a couple months.
Okay.
I believe we will be announcing this as well next month.
Okay.
The actual construction.
Question. So again, this is for construction management and inspection services. Then we'll actually go out to bid for the actual construction contracts, as you said. So
Correct, Chairman.
any questions, any comments? We do need a motion to approve so we can move forward with this.
So move.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
One step closer. Next, we have an Uptown agenda item. Gordon Hall is going to present on this.
Thank you, Chairman Williamson. Good afternoon. My name is Gordon Hall, and I'm a project manager with the Development Services Unit. This is a request for the authorization to enter into exclusive negotiations with Epic Development, an Uptown-based real estate development firm, for a period of 6 months for the development of 23 Miltenberger Street and 2 adjacent lots facing Forbes Avenue in the Bluff Uptown neighborhood. Next slide, please. Site consists of 3 URA-owned parcels totaling approximately 3,200 square feet. One parcel contains a 4-story structure, and the remaining 2 parcels that face Forbes Avenue are vacant land. Plans for the 23 Miltenberger building include a full renovation with a ground floor retail space and the restoration of upper floors for apartments or small-scale office space. The open lots adjacent to the 23 Miltenberger building facing Forbes Avenue, which is the sort of L-shaped 2 lots on the left-hand side of the picture in the slide, will be used for 3.5 season community destination food cart parklet. Space will accommodate 3 food businesses. The food cart spaces will be rented out by the year to serve as an opportunity for entrepreneurs to incubate their businesses in a lower barrier to entry form than traditional brick and mortar lease. At least 1 space will be earmarked each year to an Uptown-based or an MWBE business. The developer plans to work with Uptown partners for candidates and other neighborhood developments to place businesses looking to expand from food cart model to a traditional storefront setting when applicable. Total project costs are estimated at $400,000. An approved MWBE narrative is on file. As a reminder, this will come before you again for final approval before any property is transacted. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions, thoughts, comments? Okay, hearing none. So this is exclusive negotiations, so we will see this again.
Correct.
And as you noted, the Uptown Partners has voiced support of this project as well.
Submitted a letter of support during the RFP process.
Thanks. So I think a motion to approve would be in order.
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. And Gordon, I think you got one more, right?
Yes, I do. Thank you. So my next item is for East Ohio Street. This is a request for the authorization to enter into exclusive negotiations with our Kindle Development Group and Falani Development Group, both certified MBE real estate developers, for a period of 6 months for the development of 624 and 628 East Ohio Street in the East Allegheny historic Deutschtown neighborhood. Next slide, please. This project consists of 2 URA-owned parcels and 1 parcel owned by the historic Deutschtown Development Corporation, totaling approximately 13,000 square feet. Our Kindle and Falani development groups intend to redevelop the site into a multi-use retail and commercial office space. First floor will consist of 4 community-serving retail spaces between 1,100 and 1,800 square feet. Second and third stories will be used for office space. Demolition of 620 East Ohio Street and partial demolition of 624 East Ohio Street is proposed. New construction will match the floor levels of 628 East Ohio Street, which is the building farthest to the right in the renderings. Total development costs are estimated to be $4.9 million. Our Kindle and Falani development groups have submitted approved MWBE and MWI narratives. And once again, as a reminder, this will come before you again for final approval before any property is transacted. So I can take any questions that you may have.
You know how big the completed building itself will be?
The 3 buildings altogether.
Yeah.
There'll be 3 stories, 4 buildings, 3 stories each. Should be, yeah, it'd be about 13,000 square feet.
Okay. Any other questions? Comments, motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
No one opposed. The motion carries. Great. Thanks, Gordon. And I think that's literally everything except the disclosure agenda. All right. So anything, unless there's anything to pull out or highlight in the disclosure agenda, a motion to approve it in its entirety would be in order.
So moved. Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. November's a light month, so unless anybody wants to make a long speech, we can have a motion to adjourn and maybe have the shortest URA board meeting in history.
So moved.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting stands adjourned. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next month. The December board meeting will return to its normal Thursday time slot on December the 9th, 16th.
It's the 16th.
16th. There it is. December 16th. See you all then.
Thank you.
Thank you.